All right, let's get this show on the road. Good morning, Rams fans. At long last, the day we've been waiting for, the release of the NFL schedule. I mean, this feels like Christmas morning, finally realizing who we're going to play at what month of the year, what week. We're going to be playing certain rivals and stuff. I love this time of the year because this is where football ultimately starts picking up. Now, the purpose of this video is I'm going to be giving you my predictions on what I truly believe is going to be on that schedule come 5 p.m. Pacific time. Again, a lot of the things are self-explanatory. Some of these predictions may be bold, some of them may be things you expect. But again, hopefully you agree with the things I have on my mind. And joining me will be two LA Rams super fans, Twitter users built for LA, and the Egganator. I will be linking their stuff in the description and in the comments below. Go ahead and follow them on Twitter and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Glad to hear that you guys are doing well on YouTube as well. Now let's get the show on the road. My first prediction. This is one that I've seen leaked on Twitter already, but I promise you guys that I have text receipts where I called this months ago. Even after the NFC title game, I said there is no better game to start Sunday Night Football off than having the Rams return back to Ford Field and face the Detroit Lions. It's perfect. It's perfect for viewership. I think it's a great intense rivalry now, considering how the last game ended. You know, with all the dirty hits and stuff, you know the Rams are out for revenge and they want this game bad. I know it's a road game. I know Ford Field will be crazy. It's a hostile environment with a lot of great fan base. But you know what? Ultimately, in the end, I think it's a good battle test to see where the Rams stand among the rest of the teams in the NFC. And if they come out of this one 1-0, I guarantee you the whole league is going to change their perception on us, because after AD's retirement, everybody is starting to look past us. They're looking at other teams. Now we're not contenders. If we can get that primetime game in front of all of America, we go into Detroit and beat the living crap out of the Lions. I know that's a long shot, but holy crap, will you see the headlines just raining praise on us. All Rams fans, including myself, I'd be jumping for joy just to have that kind of scenario happen. My second prediction, and again, this is very expecting considering the kind of team we're going to field this year. I believe the Rams will have 5 primetime games. I would love to say 6, but the NFL just loves to give it to the darlings. You know, they love to give it to Kansas City. They love to give it to the Bills. They'll probably give it to the 49ers, maybe even Detroit, considering they get that Thanksgiving game. But there's a lot of intriguing opponents on the Rams schedule this year. We're going to be hosting the Dolphins. We're going to be hosting the Bills. Heck, even that Raiders game, you know, the rivalry between the two teams. And not to mention a lot of good road games. The 49ers, the Jets, the Bears. Of course, Detroit, which is part of my first prediction where I said we will play them on Sunday night. The schedule is going to be tough this year. That's a certainty. But I think the Rams deserve 5 primetime games. If I'm not mistaken, we had 2 primetime games last year. One was a terrible loss to the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday night. And, of course, that amazing home win against the Saints on Thursday night. I truly believe that this is the year where the Rams will get 5 primetime games. They deserve it through what they did in free agency and in the draft. They're going to be exciting, and they will be proving why they're one of the best teams in the NFC. Mark my words. My next prediction is that they are going to have their bye week in the second half of the season. Now, I think by rule, teams can have their bye weeks between weeks 5 through 14. And again, it varies. There's no specific formula to determine which team gets it when. It's just completely randomized. But I think that this year the Rams will have their bye week in the second half. And we're talking weeks 11 and beyond. Last season, that bye week saved the Rams season. Because we were 3-6, coming off one of our worst games I think I've ever seen as a Rams fan. Putting up 3 points, seeing Brett Rippon leading the helm with everything. We have our bye week, Stafford gets healthy. We play the Seahawks, and the rest is history. We go 7-1 down the road, go finish 10-7, make the playoffs. That was crucial, because if we had our bye week earlier in the season, I guarantee you things probably wouldn't have been the same. Who knows? We'll never know. But this year, I believe we're going to have a late season bye week, get some rest on some key starters, and then go on a dominant November-December run. Who knows? But that's my third prediction. They will have a bye week later in the season. My fourth prediction is a little specific, and I say that we will play the 49ers on the road on primetime. Now, this is a common narrative. If you've been a Rams fan as long as I have, you've picked up on things in the schedule. Since we've moved to LA, Almost every single season was a primetime game in San Francisco. I'll recap it. Our first season in LA in 2016, very first game as the Los Angeles Rams, we open up the season at San Francisco on Monday Night Football, where we got shut out 28-0. Then in 2017, at San Francisco on Thursday night. 2018, it was originally supposed to be on Sunday Night Football in Week 6, but they flexed it mid-season because, again, we were holding up our end of the bargain, but the 49ers weren't. 2019, the game got flexed to a Saturday game, and of course, we were at Frisco. 2020, Sunday Night Football at Frisco. 2021, Monday Night Football at Frisco. 2022, Monday Night Football at Frisco. Do you see what I mean? The only 2 years where we didn't have one was because in 2018, it got flexed out because the 49ers were not a good team that year. And last year because we weren't supposed to be a good team, even though I think it could have been a primetime game had the stakes been higher for that Week 18 game. Now for my fifth and final prediction before I hand the reins over to my two co-hosts, I would like to go on the record and say that the Rams will have a long stretch or like a good cluster of home games to end the season. And I mean that, like, let's just say we split the season. There's 18 weeks. Weeks 1 through 9 are considered the first half. 10 through 18 is the second half. I believe the first half will be like a mix of road and home games, but I expect it to be more dominantly home games at the end. It just makes too much sense. We're obviously the NFC, so for like this year, we're going to get 9 home games as opposed to the AFC only getting 8. So I feel like the schedule makers are going to do us a favor this year and give us majority of our home games at the end of the year. It makes too much sense. It would benefit the Rams to get acclimated again to that rhythm. And who knows, maybe that could be the difference maker in winning the division. I truly believe this team can win the division. So being able to host a playoff game, especially after being at home majority of the weeks in like November and December, that's huge because you're not really having to travel and stuff. Now, does that impact the team down the line if they don't get a high enough seed? Probably, but that's not the point of this video. Now, with that said, I would like to hand the reins over to Built for LA. Take it away, man.
Yo, what's up? Built for LA here. Before I start, I want to say thank you to Krabs for inviting me onto this to submit my predictions for the Rams NFL season. I really appreciate you wanting to bring me on, my man. I'm happy you're back on YouTube. Can't wait to see what you create. So, getting into it. My first prediction for the Rams schedule, I'm going to start off with their opening opponent. I believe the Rams could play one of two teams for their opening night game. The one that seems the most likely to me right now would be the Detroit Lions in Detroit. No part of me would honestly be surprised if that ends up being a primetime game. That's completely possible. So I do think that the most likely opponent for the Rams to start the season would be the Lions. And the other team I can see the Rams playing on opening day would most likely be the 49ers if it was a division opponent, because last season was the Seahawks as our opening day game, and I highly doubt the NFL would send us to Arizona or have us host Arizona to open the season, even though I would love to host Arizona to start the season because that actually might feel like a full-on Rams home game, and I would love to see a full potential opening day SoFi Stadium just packed to the brim with Rams fans. I would love to see that. That would be what I would want the most, was for the Cardinals to come to SoFi. That's what I would want the most. But that's probably not going to happen. But it's either going to be the Lions or the 49ers would be my guess. Obviously, it could be anybody. There's some other good opponents coming in. Green Bay could be. I doubt it. Vikings. Got the Bills coming in. We played them on opening day 2 years ago, so that's a possibility. But it's going to be really interesting to see who the Rams end up playing on opening day.
Again, man, thank you so much for your predictions and your time. It means a lot that you're willing to be a part of this video. Again, I do agree. It makes too much sense to open up the season against Detroit. I mean, it's a common opinion and it's a common prediction among all Rams fans. It's too good to pass up on. You can't whiff on an opportunity to have a rematch of one of the most intense playoff games from the playoffs last season. So, anyways, now another transition. I'm going to hand it over to my third co-host, the Egganator. Take it away, man.
Hi, Egganator. I'm going to contribute my primetime predictions for the Rams and as well as opening day. Well, what I want for opening day is against who I think could be the worst team, the Patriots. Quarterback on his first start, coach first game, go up into New England, week one, just go up there and stomp them. Won't hit the same, feel the same without Belichick snatching his tablet, but it is what it is. So that's what I like to see the opening game be. It's not really prediction, but what I am predicting is the primetime games. We always seem to have a TNF game in Seattle for some reason and an MNF game in San Fran. I don't know why that is. I don't really like it, but that's what I'm going to predict. And as for the other primetime games, I think we'll have... Let's do Monday versus the Bills and an SNF game against the Eagles. And one more thing. I think I could see the Rams for a playoff rematch playing the Lions on Thanksgiving in Detroit. To the next person.
All right, Egganator. Again, I appreciate the time and willing to record that for the podcast. But yeah, I think those are some cool predictions. I mean, playing the Eagles on Sunday Night Football would be cool. Playing the Seahawks on Thursday night seems like a gimme, considering it's happened quite a few times already. But yeah, that's going to conclude this video. Rams fans, feel free to like and subscribe and comment if you have any predictions of your own. I'd love to hear them. Of course, do them before the 5 p.m. schedule release, because then that serves no purpose. Again, now that I'm going to try to get back on this full time, hopefully I can get more Rams content out, maybe to even do a prediction video. And again, if you're interested in working with me, feel free to shoot me a DM on my Twitter. I'll have that linked in the description. I love to work with Rams fans, I love connecting with fans, and I love talking football. So at the end of the day, keep on rocking and take care.